yo, welcome back to the channel. I know that this is hella late, but I actually made this video twice, and I just didn't like my vibe, you know? So I'm gonna just try it one more time, and I guess I'm gonna post this one no matter what. But a few pretty exciting things to talk about. So basically, everything that we've been looking for, everything we've been looking at in the market is playing out right in front of our eyes with a little extra. So let's take a look. So yesterday, we added this purple rotated rectangle to our chart to go around our midline that we've been watching for months now, to more be a signal of a trading zone that this trend represents, correct? And so today we got our second straight rejection off of the midline and got sent straight down to 37.50, which I've been telling you guys we were looking for us to go down to the 3700 to 3750 range on ES1, which is futures. And so now you're making a test of this level. I do see a few different scenarios that could possibly play out over the course of the next few days as a result of this move. And we'll go over those in a second. But first, I want to show you another way, a really cool way to find a good reversal point is to pull a Fibonacci, a local Fibonacci, and find its correlation with trend lines that you're watching. So we've been watching this midline. If you pulled a fib from the top of this move here down to the bottom here, you can see that there's a clear correlation with our favorite Fibonacci over the course of the past year for the S&P index, which is the 707. And you can see that you have a clean rejection between the midline as well as the Fibonacci level, the 707. And so this correlation is not necessarily you can't be 100% convicted that you're going to have a reversal there. But you can, with really good probability, be able to tell that you're most likely to have at least a temporary rejection at a level like this, right? Because there's so much significance on this test. And that's what you're seeing here is at least a temporary rejection. I will say that, and we've been looking at this for a long time, right? The past few days since we had this rally up here, this does look distributive in nature. And so that's why we've been saying that we want to see the price come back down to 3,700 to 3,750. And that distribution has continued thus far. So more of the same, in my opinion. I think that over the course of the next few days, like I said, there are a few different possibilities. The next few trading sessions, I should say, because the end of the week is coming up. So I think most likely you do have a reaction upward as a result of today's price action, and somewhat of a retracement, right? I do think that is what occurs over the course of tomorrow going into next week, maybe Monday, right? So Sunday night futures opens up. Perhaps this is the sort of move that you see. You could see some more consolidation occur between here, right? And really drag out options and really burn people up because people are looking for a big move. But we know on the channel that we are at a big point of indecision currently in the market. Ultimately, I do think that the likelihood is that at some point you do press back down and retest more deeply into this accumulation range. The timeline on this is a little bit harder to predict, so you're going to be wanting to watch volume and see what kind of reactions that you have at these key levels, right? So let's pull up volume. You're going to want to see at one of these tests a larger volume spike occur, right? Somebody step into either side. Because I will say here, look, I'm almost 100% convicted that you're going to have a bounce up here. I would be very surprised if tomorrow you have a big dump. I don't think that that's the most likely scenario looking at this chart. I think that the most likely scenario is maybe tomorrow you have a cooling off sort of day where there's not as much volatility. They try and chew up options, maybe target a max pain point, and then going into the open on Sunday night, that's when you see maybe that gap up, that press up sort of move in pre-market hours, and maybe even through Monday. And then once you have a key, and the way that you can find that key level is by drawing a Fibonacci, right? Let's just assume that this is the bottom for now. So perhaps you go to this local 707, right? And see, it actually lines up pretty well here. That this would be the ultimate test. Another 707 combined with this trend line perhaps to round out and finish out this distribution down to 3,700. So I'm saying that you're going to see indecision. I think that trend continues. A continued trend of indecision where we're trading between this 3,700 to 3,800 range, but most likely you're staying closer and stuck in that 3,700 to 3,750 range is what the chart looks like it's calling for here. And if at any point you break across this midline and then you have a successful test and make like a retest, so you break across it, let's just say that this happens, right? You break across it going into early next week, and then you come back, you retest the liquidity there, and then you have a successful higher high, that's very bullish, right? And at that point, I would be expecting a pretty big rally. And the way that I would find this rally would be pulling this Fibonacci, and I'd be targeting 39.89 up here on futures. And I mean, it's not going to go straight there, but it will be relatively strong. And it would happen over the course of, this example goes into the 20th of October, but that's the sort of look that you'd be looking for. I think that that's the less likely scenario in the short term. I think it's more likely that you press down and test 3,700. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to make that clear that that is what I am expecting. But I will change my mind and become much more bullish if you break and have a successful retest of that midline at any given point. So that's pretty much the video. I think this actually was a really good video, I think. I was more concise. I think that I did a good job of being able to illustrate my points here and give an abundance of scenarios. Oh, no, we can't delete that box. That's a very important box. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like. Comment your thoughts down below. What do you think about the midline and the 707s and the market? And isn't it weird how you have a bunch of fundamental stuff going on or whatever, but what really matters is you just hit this line that some random dude on YouTube drew on a chart? Isn't that kind of weird? It's a combination of the two things. Narratives are important, but so is psychology. So I guess you have a balance. Here we are, astrology for men. Am I right? Have a good day, brother. I might not make a video tomorrow, and then might do the preview for the week on Sunday. Maybe after futures open, maybe before. Maybe I'll do a video tomorrow. I don't know. You have a great day. Okay. Peace.